Hey guys, it is Psychic Gal here today. What is up? I hope you guys are all doing well. In this video, it's kind of just gonna be about how to be more grateful, as well as what being more appreciative of the events that are happening in your life now will create a different future for yourself. And I had to learn this obviously the hard way, always. And when I go through these lessons, I feel glad that I can actually share them to somebody who wants to listen and understand, and I'm so grateful for you guys. And so this video is kind of just going to be about how you can be more appreciative, what being more grateful can do for you, as well as how being grateful for my circumstances has changed my life. So I guess the first thing I kind of wanted to get into was when you are grateful for your circumstances right now, whether if they are good or bad, you can find something in your life that you can be grateful for right now. Whether it's the bed you're sleeping on, whether it's the water, the clean water that you get to drink, there is a lot of things that you could focus on that could raise your vibration. Because when you sit in a place of gratitude, it instantly raises your vibration, and it also helps your manifestations come a lot quicker. And the reason is because you're in such a high vibration, because you are okay and happy and grateful for where you are at right now. So then you can be more grateful and appreciative of where you are going to be. When I expressed my gratitude to the universe, or whether it was writing down 3 things that I could be grateful for each day, I seen an impact upon my day. Because I was going back and looking at my day and being like, okay, what were 3 things that I can be grateful for today? Not just looking at the bad, try looking at the good. And as I started to do this and be more grateful for these little things that were happening, the more that I got gifted and blessed. And this is gonna sound crazy, but when I was homeless and I was in a pretty dark place within myself, I had to find things to be grateful about, even in that moment of time in my life. So I know for a fact you can find things that you are grateful for and you appreciate in your life right now. Because if you are sitting there and reaping on the things that you don't have, you are constantly never going to have them. But if you focus on the things that you do have in front of you and the tools that are available, it will gain some type of success for yourself. Because I haven't had a lot of tools available to me since my childhood. I have not had any of the tools available to me that other kids had. But I made do, and I made something and created something with that, without having all the things that all these other people have. And when you get into this state, you instantly raise your vibration. You instantly get into a place of happiness, contentment, wholeness, complete, and you love instead of hate. Because when you're sitting in that low vibration of not finding anything that you can be grateful for and just focusing on the bad and looking at all the negative things in your life, you will constantly keep recreating those things. So if you focus on the feeling and the good things that are in your life already, you change your whole perspective, and you will change your whole mind. It will change your whole mindset. I found so much gratitude for a bed, for the situation that I got put in. So now that I have a bed, I am so grateful for it because of the situation that I was put in before. But you don't even need to have that in your life, because there's always going to be somebody that is doing worse than you, a lot worse than you, saying no, that doesn't have actual good clean water, doesn't actually have a bed to sleep on, doesn't have anybody to love and have a family, like they don't have anybody around them to actually comfort and care for them. You start to appreciate a lot more things when you put it into context of those. Because do you have clean drinking water? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have somewhere where you can clean yourself? Well, that is 3 things you can be grateful for, because there is a lot of people that don't have those things, that don't have those resources available to them to create a better life for themselves. So when you can actually truly express your gratitude every day for the little things. The little things matter. The little tiny little things matter. If you can be grateful for the thing that you just bought at the store, or you being able to have a place to thrive, or you appreciating that person that you have to go to when you need advice. When I started to focus on these things that I could be grateful for, it changed a lot in my life. Because I spent a large period of my life not being grateful for anything. I was so stuck. I was constantly making excuses for myself. I was constantly putting myself down and pitying myself, saying, poor me, poor me, poor me. But when I looked at the things that I can be appreciative for, because even if they are little things, they still matter, it changed my whole mindset. It changed my whole mindset. Because when you put it like that, there's always going to be people better than you. There's always going to be people worse than you. So you have to be okay and accept and appreciate what you have at this moment of time. Because when you're trying to manifest, or when you're trying to create a better life for yourself, you can't do it by not being grateful for where you are right now. Because you will not feel the gratitude of where you're going to go if you are not grateful for where you are now. It won't feel as good. Yes, it will come to you and you'll be like, damn, wow, I have this thing now. I'm so grateful for it. I'm so happy for it. But if you cannot be grateful for these little things over here in your reality right now, before you have your manifestation, or before you've created the best version of yourself and the best environment for yourself, you have to learn to be appreciative with what you have and be grateful for what you have. I don't know, I feel like this is bringing me back to my childhood, because I got told that my whole life. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you have given. Be grateful for what you have. And be grateful for the resources that you have. And I never grew up in a home where my parents came from a bad place, or where they came from kind of like a third world country, but you have really no idea how a lot of people live out here. And they are still positive, and they are still getting it through the days when they don't even have clean drinking water. They don't have a bed to come and sleep on. Yes, they have their family, and that's what they're grateful for. They can still find the things to be grateful for in their reality. So if you cannot find things to be grateful for in your reality right now, you will never see the results that you want to see in your future. Obviously, you're now thinking like, okay, Elle, what should I do to be more grateful? What should I do to show my appreciation, or to do those types of things? Tell yourself, ask yourself, self-evaluate yourself. Ask yourself every day, what are 3 things that you can be grateful for about this day today? Instead of saying, what are the 3 bad things that happened in my day today? What were the 3 things that you can be grateful for in your day? Whether it was talking to a stranger, whether it was that conversation you had with your mom, whether it was the bed that you just woke up in. There's a lot of different things. You can either say it out loud, you can either say it in your mind and keep it to yourself, you can write it down on a piece of paper, you could take a video on your phone and be like, I am so grateful for this today, and this today, and this today. And you can look back at it and be like, wow, there's so many things that I can find a positive experience from. And it all kind of just takes you putting yourself in the positive experience. Let's say you're in a bad mood and you're like, oh, these emotions are getting to me and these things are getting to me and I'm worried about this and I'm worried about that. You can pull yourself back by saying, what are 3 things you can be grateful for? What are 3 things that you can appreciate in your life right now? And what I did was I focused on those things. I focused on those things throughout my day, saying what are the things that I can be grateful for, because it always put me back in a high vibration, so I can create the reality I desire. I can create the manifest the life that I want for myself by using gratitude, because it's speeding up your desires that are already in the mix right now. But if you're showing the universe that you are already sitting in a high vibe in the environment that isn't perfect or isn't up to the reality that you want, the universe will put you in the reality that you deserve, because you're already feeling that emotion already. One thing I always thought too was that gratitude beats everything. Everything. When I was down in the dirts crying by myself on the street, I had to push myself to find 3 things that I could be grateful for in that moment. And one of the things was my friend Jade at the time. She lived across the world. She lives across the world, like 16 hours away, but I still FaceTimed her and she still comforted me when I was in that position. So that was one thing that I could find appreciation for. Whether it was people giving me money on the side of the street to help me to get some water and get some food, that was one thing that I could be grateful for in those days. So every day that I was sitting in that environment, I still had to find things to be grateful for, because if I was gonna change my reality, even though my reality is absolute crap, I have to be grateful for the things that I do have and the resources that I do have and my TikTok and the things that I did have, not just focusing on all of these bad things that were happening around me. And that's what created more positive experiences for myself and more positive change for myself, more opportunities and things that I could take to evolve myself from that state of being that I was at before. So it actually got me to a different place than I was. And you might not even notice this until you've done it after a while and you start to realize you have more than 3 things to be grateful for. Now I have plenty of things that I can be grateful for. It's not just 5 on my hand from sitting on the side of the road bawling because of my situation. I could still find 5 things. So I don't try to make excuses for myself when I'm sitting in a mood and I'm trying to play pity on myself and I'm trying to think about all the bad things that are going on in my life. I have to sit with myself and be like, hey girl, what are 3 things you can be grateful for today? What are things that you can be happy about today? And pull myself back into that positive mood, back into that stable state of being. And that doesn't mean happiness, because happiness comes and goes. I mean joy. Because you can feel joy constantly, but happiness does come and go. It's something that we all chase. We all probably want happiness in our lives. Some people do. Honestly, some people probably don't. Maybe they have other goals in their life. They're like, I want money, I want this, I want that. But for me, I know that one of my goals in life is to be happy. But I realize that that is just something that comes and goes. But when you reach a full state of enlightenment, you feel joy and you feel love. So me doing that action with myself and being like, KL, what are 3 things you can be grateful for? I know you're sitting here focusing on all these bad things, but what are 3 things you can be grateful for? And pulling myself into that positive state, that is strengthening my vibration, because I'm giving to myself. What a best friend would do in that situation is what I was doing for myself. And I think that is one of the most powerful things that you can do with yourself, is when you're doing the work on yourself, pulling yourself out of those negative viewpoints and those negative stories that you're telling yourself, and finding things to be grateful for, finding things to be happy about, putting yourself in doing something that you love to do, doing something that you're happy to do, because then it just strengthens you. You're not sitting there being like, oh, I'm in a bad mood, I'm gonna wait till the next day to be in a good mood. You're not letting that kind of dictate or control your life. You are stepping in. Your authentic self is stepping in instead of the mind that's going crazy, and actually helping yourself. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to come, this is the first thing that came to my mind today. I was like, I feel like I should tell people to be grateful for wherever they are at in their lives, because even though you are not seeing your manifestations yet, that will speed up the process of the reality that you want to create, because you are happy with the place that you are right now, and you are grateful for the place that you are right now, because you know that it serves some type of purpose, and maybe that purpose is finding the good things, finding the things that you can be appreciative for even in those bad times. And yeah, I really hope this video helped you. I hope you gained some type of clarity, and if you have anything that you guys want me to talk about, just leave it down in the comments below. And I want to start getting more engagement on YouTube, so make sure you comment, like, or subscribe. If not, you don't feel good about it, don't do it. It's all in your favor. But I hope you guys have a good day, night, or evening, and I hope this helped.